Beyond Belief. Fact or fiction? Hosted by Jonathan Frakes. Tonight, your challenge is to separate what is true from what is false. 5 stories, some real, some fake. Can you judge which are fact and which are fiction? To find out, you must enter a world of both truth and deception, a world that is beyond belief.
Observe this scale model of an ambulance. It appears to be a detailed, three-dimensional object with depth we can see. But what is it really? As you can see, it has no depth at all. It's a shell. And so it is with our stories tonight. What might seem real at first glance may simply be an illusion. We'll tell you which are which at the end of our show, but consider carefully before you make your guess. Of course, I don't have to tell you these things. After all, you appear to be a person of depth. For those of us who don't travel with personal bodyguards, there are a variety of gadgets designed for our protection. Portable sirens, panic alarms, pepper sprays, all things we hope to never have to use. But they can provide a degree of comfort and security. Sandy Miller, a college student, has never felt the need for these products before. But that's about to change. In fact, she's about to major in Terror 101.
I had been extremely nervous about leaving my home in Steubenville, Ohio, and traveling to the East Coast for college. But as nervous as I was, my parents were much worse. I was their only child, and it was hard for them to imagine me being on my own. But the school was great, and I really loved my dorm room. It was just a regular room, but there was just something about it. Every time I walked in, a feeling of well-being came over me. Hi, Mom. No, everything's fine. I just called to say hi. I definitely studied better inside that room. Everything seemed clear there, and my confidence seemed so much stronger than when I was outside. Hey, Mom? Yeah, I gotta go. Someone's at the door. Okay. And I love you too. Bye. Dawn, hi.
Did you hear about the campus alert?
No? What alert?
There's a stalker. He attacked some girl from Palmer Hall last night.
What?
Yeah, she went out alone to get something to eat. He dragged her into the bushes over by the fountain. I heard she got beat up pretty bad. She's in the hospital now, but they think she's gonna be okay.
That's horrible.
I know. The campus police are warning everybody not to be out alone after dark. The residence assistants are handing out these air horns and cans of mace to everyone. I've got a big French exam tomorrow. I have to go study.
Okay.
Don't forget to lock your doors.
I won't. Thanks. See ya. Dawn's news about the stalker really got to me. But as strange as it sounds, as soon as I closed the door to my room, I felt better. It was hard to describe. I felt safe and warm, like nothing could touch me. I would have stayed in that night, but I had a paper due the next morning, and I needed to do some research at the computer lab. That night, I got into a zone with my school paper. I would look up what I needed for notes, and then the words and thoughts seemed to flow together so easily. Three hours went by. I was so caught up in my project that I didn't even notice the time and that everyone had left. I should have called the campus police and asked for an escort, but I wasn't thinking clearly. I was exhausted. I had this feeling that someone's watching me from the bushes. I felt an overwhelming urge to run, and then I saw my room. I had left a light on. Just seeing that light and knowing that I would be in my room in just a few seconds made me feel better.
Fight, he'll kill you.
I had no idea how to defend myself. I thought I was gonna die, and then the strangest thing happened.
I told you not to fight me.
campus police came and arrested the stalker. They couldn't believe that a small woman like me could have overpowered him. I told them I used karate. They asked me where I learned it. I said I never did, but for some reason I just knew all the moves. Can I help you?
I'm sorry. My name is Margaret Walker. This used to be my daughter Trisha's room when she was a student here. Would you mind if I came in for a minute?
Please, come in.
Thank you. I was only here once before when we moved Trisha in.
Are you all right, ma'am?
Trisha was killed in a car accident last spring.
I didn't know. I'm so sorry.
My husband came and picked up Trisha's things. I couldn't do it. It took me a long time to find the courage to come back here again. Trisha loved this room.
I love it too. I feel something special here.
That's good.
What kind of person was Trisha?
One of a kind. She was smart, beautiful, natural athlete.
Really? By any chance did she know karate?
Trisha was a black belt. She could take down men twice her size. How did you know?
Just a guess.
Did the spirit of Trisha Walker really protect Sandy? How else could she take down a man twice her size? Or was it Sandy's will to survive that gave her the unexpected strength and skill to overwhelm her attacker? But how do you explain the feeling of calm that Sandy felt every time she entered her apartment? Couldn't that have been the spirit of Trisha? In presenting this story of the student and the spirit, we may have you. If not, at least we gave it the old college try.
We'll find out if this story is true or false at the end of our show. Next, a chalkboard appears to have supernatural powers on beyond belief, fact or fiction.
The active mind of a child. All these things are designed to keep it busy. It's been said that the secret of Einstein's genius was that he never lost his childlike curiosity. Even the great Einstein was never able to unlock the secrets found within the thoughts of children. Tanya Skinner is a young girl, not yet old enough to read, write, or even speak that well. But as we're about to learn, that doesn't mean she can't communicate.
I loved my little granddaughter, Tanya. She was the best thing that ever happened to me. I know that everybody thinks their grandchild is special, but mine really was.
Oh, I don't believe this. Where did I put her toothbrush?
Oh, take it easy, honey. Look's right there on the table.
Oh.
My daughter Dawn was a single mom. She had a full-time job and was trying to make it on her own. To make things worse, that day she was under the weather.
Oh, my head. Everything aches.
Oh, Dawn, go back to bed. I can take it from here.
Thanks, Mom. I'm sorry to dump Tanya on you like this.
Oh, hey. I'm cheaper than daycare and a whole lot more fun than a stranger. And I love to be with my Tanya. And she loves to be with her grandma, don't you, Tanya? Don't you?
That's not for home decoration, you know. That you can actually play in that.
Tanya still didn't talk very much, but I knew she loved garage sales. And as usual, there was one going on in Marcus Tweed's driveway. Marcus Tweed was the kind of man who had a garage sale every weekend. I was never inside his house, but I shudder to think how cluttered it must have been.
Amanda, how are you? Oh, is that your little granddaughter?
That's Tanya.
Oh. Uh-oh, looks like she found something.
Oh, no, sweetheart. No, you have to put that back. Oh, you want to keep it? All right, how much do you want for the chalkboard?
As I watched Tanya play with that old chalkboard, I couldn't help but think she wasn't acting like her usual self. She seemed removed and distant. It was almost like she was compelled to keep scribbling on that old board. I tried, but I couldn't get her to put it down. Even though Tanya wasn't hungry, I fixed her a sandwich anyway. She was totally wrapped up in her chalkboard, and every time I tried to take it away, she'd have a fit. So I figured I'd just let her play herself out with it.
I've made you something to eat.
At first, it just looked like the scribbling Tanya had been doing all day long. But then I took a closer look, and I got the shock of my life.
Tanya, where did you learn how to write that? You don't even know your alphabet.
Inside all those lines and circles were the words, "Save Mommy." I couldn't believe my eyes. Then my mother's instinct took hold. I had to call Dawn and make sure she was all right. Come on, Dawn. Dawn, answer the phone. I left Tanya with the neighbor. I felt like I was acting crazy, but I had to find out if Dawn was okay.
Dawn? Dawn? Answer the door, Dawn. It's Mom.
As soon as I was inside, I smelled the gas. It was so heavy I could barely breathe.
Where's Tanya?
Oh, she's all right, honey. She's safe. Oh, Dawn. I thought I'd lost you. We found out later that the gas main had burst behind the fireplace. If it weren't for Tanya and that 50-cent chalkboard, I never would have gotten there, and my daughter would have died. To this day, I haven't been able to figure out how Tanya was able to write those words, "Save Mommy."
How could a child who doesn't even know the alphabet write a life-saving message? Could it be the phenomenon called automatic writing, where a person could actually channel someone else's thoughts? If so, who was Tanya channeling? And why hadn't it happened before? Or did Tanya sense that her mother was in danger and somehow summon skills beyond her years? Does this story bear the imprint of truth? Or have we chalked up another lie?
We'll find out if this story is true or false at the end of our show. Next, a TV weatherman's predictions turn deadly on Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
Wasn't it Mark Twain who told us that everyone talks about the weather but nobody ever does anything about it? True in Twain's day, perhaps. But with today's tracking satellites, three-dimensional diagrams, and computer readouts, weather has become not only predictable, but highly profitable. Brent Philly is a popular, well-paid local weatherman. His nightly reports have made him famous. But there's a storm on the horizon of Brent's career, and with apologies to Mark Twain, Brent is about to do something about it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what can I say? That was another encore presentation of absolutely beautiful, stunning Southern California weather today, wasn't it? And looking at our local map here, we can see that our skies are clear. Our temperature is 74 degrees. The humidity is 48%. The barometric pressure is steady at 30.09, and the winds are calm.
Weatherman Brent Philly had been a fixture around Southern California for 10 years. He was well paid, and he coveted the power and celebrity his job brought him.
Anyway, looking ahead now to our 5-day forecast, we can see that we can expect pretty much more of the same. Our highs will be in the mid-70s, our lows in the mid-50s. All in all, a gorgeous week of weather ahead. Well, that's a look at your weather now here in beautiful Southern California. But if you'd like to know more about the weather, or perhaps even the Brent Philly Celebrity Golf Tournament, why don't you check into my website at www.phillyforecast.com. That's it for now. Back to you, George.
Thank you, Brent, for that great report. Oh, and by the way, I'll be there with my clubs and my 12 handicap. And now some late breaking news. More violence broke out this afternoon in Dallas.
Yeah.
Brent loved being in the public eye, but there were two different Brent Phillys.
Right.
The one the public saw and the real one.
Yeah. Now, see, Jess, that's what I'm saying. I'm not getting paid enough. No, people are watching this newscast because of me, not that has-been George Jean. The guy can't even read copy. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They love me out here. Right. Okay, well, I'll give you a call right after the meeting. Okay, bye. Hey, Mark, catch my weather? Felt really good today.
Yeah, come on in. Close the door.
Brent wasn't sure what this meeting was about, but he knew he could use it to stab anchor George Jean in the back.
What's up?
I just got the latest numbers, and they're down again.
Down again? I know what that is. It's George. I mean, come on, Marty, you gotta let him go. He's old news, and he's killing my viewer base. You know, people just don't like him.
Actually, Brent, we did a focus group, and George isn't the problem. It's your weather reports.
No. No, that can't be right.
They say, and I'm quoting, boring and always the same.
Well, what do these idiots expect? The weather never changes. I mean, come on, what is that, my fault now? If these people want more exciting weather, why don't they move to Minnesota?
Look, I don't know what to tell you here, okay? I'm in the middle. We got sweeps starting next week. If the numbers don't go up, I've been instructed to let you go.
You can't. Come on, man. I'd be ruined. I'd be finished all over town.
I'm sorry, Brent. That's the way it is.
That's the way it is.
Brent Filley had a long, sleepless night after his meeting with news director Mort Phillips. He came to work the next day committed to one thing. He wasn't going to lose his job without a fight.
Well, now it's time for our weather. Here's our resident meteorologist, Brent Filley. Well, Brent, what's in store for us today?
Ladies and gentlemen, pay no attention to the map behind me because it is dead wrong. There's been a sudden and highly unusual rise in the barometric pressure, and I am predicting a massive tropical storm is going to sweep through the greater Los Angeles basin tonight. That's right, we can expect gale force winds with up to 15 inches of rain over the next 12 hours. Tidal waves up and down the Malibu coastline. I'm going to be tracking the whole thing for you downstairs in Storm Central. Until your next update, right here. It's back to you, George.
Thank you, Brent, for that rather surprising forecast. Well, if you don't have to go out tonight, don't.
The phones at the station rang off the hook the next day when the storm failed to appear. But Brent had a ready explanation for that.
Because there was no tropical storm. That massive front we were experiencing broke up into smaller pieces and blew out over the Pacific. But we are not going to escape the tornadoes that are coming. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, tornadoes. They are going to come, they are going to hit us, they are going to hit us fast, and they are going to hit us hard. Stay tuned, I'll have more details later in the newscast.
For the next week, weatherman Brent Filley continued making wild predictions, followed by explanations of why they didn't come true. No one at the station complained about the exaggerated reports because the ratings continued to climb.
High pressure system coming in, we're facing a deluge. I predict a series of 6 tornadoes piggybacking their way through the greater Los Angeles basin, accompanied by hurricane force winds. Now don't forget, you heard it first here on the Philly Forecast. George?
Wow. Brent, thank you for that warning. Tornadoes, huh? Boy, oh boy. Well, when we come back, Stinson Gottlieb has the latest in entertainment news. He's here next.
Oh, that's great.
Brent Filley couldn't have been happier with his renewed success. Yeah. More and more people were watching his weather reports, and they didn't care if he was right or wrong.
Great. Good. No, and listen, I'm telling you, Jess, I've never been bigger. It's unbelievable. I mean, people are stealing my garbage. Like a prophet or something. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Hit him for more money. Absolutely. Yeah, as much as you can get. All right. Okay.
What happened next was completely unexpected.
Mr. Filley?
No autographs, but if you speak...
No, I don't want your autograph. You should be in jail. My father died because of you and your stupid weather forecast.
What are you talking about?
My father heard your forecast about tornadoes hitting L.A.
Yeah?
He went outside to weatherproof the house, and he had a heart attack and died. You killed him!
Oh, hey, listen. I didn't tell anybody to go out and weatherproof the house. Your father killed himself.
No, you're a mutt!
Hey, lady, get your hands off me. You're a nut.
Tragedy struck one of our own today. Popular 34-year-old weatherman Brent Filley died on his way home in a freak accident. According to eyewitness accounts, a small but powerful tornado touched down and lifted Filley's car off the ground. After spinning it some 50 feet into the air, the tornado then dropped the vehicle where it landed, right behind me. Brent Filley died on impact. There is one interesting side note, though. There were no predictions of a tornado from any of the local weather forecasts, except for one, and that came from our own Brent Filley. This is Cynthia Bellwood reporting. Back to you, George.
What really caused the death of Brent Filley? Tornadoes are the rarest of occurrences in the area in which he lived. Did his outrageous predictions actually come true, or had he angered the fates once too often? And how reliable were the eyewitnesses? Was Brent's accident really caused by a tornado, or did he lose control of his car and roll over on his own? Or did the family of the man who died weatherproofing his home have something to do with it? Could they have tampered with Brent's car? Does this story seem to have clear, sunny property of truth? Or do you see it as mostly cloudy with a chance of lies?
We'll find out if this story is true or false at the end of our show. Next, a stand-up comic finds he can't outwit destiny on Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, funny thing happened to me on the way to the studio tonight. Did I say funny? Actually, it was beyond belief. I'll be here all week. Don't forget your waitresses. The life of a stand-up comedian. Combination of laughter, adrenaline, and a lot of sweat. You live and die with every joke, and it can be a long, hard road to recognition. Nick Royce is a funny man who's never taken the stage. He stays behind the scenes as a manager. But he's about to learn what it really means to laugh until it hurts.
That was my client, Joe Ace Grand.
Medication? If I start melting, you should have taken the blue ones, huh? Hey, don't be afraid to laugh, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's called comedy. You just open your mouth and let something come out, preferably something that isn't a belch, you know? Hey, I got one for you. You're gonna love this one. Why did the chicken cross the road? Huh? Shut up. I love that one. It kills me every time. Oh, man, I'm parched. I feel like I licked the desert up here. Hey, I need some water or something. Where's my water boy? Water boy! Hey, where's my water boy? Hey, there we go. Close enough. Hey, Nick Royce, my manager, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody give him a hand out, will you? Oh, sorry, Nick. I mean a hand.
And that's me. Part of the act.
Somebody put water in my water. Hey, Nick, you're fired.
Well, I'll be unemployed, but at least I'll be dry.
Yeah. Hey, very funny, man. You worry about the water, I'll worry about the one-liners, huh?
Sorry, Joey.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, you
I had
folks have been
always
great,
loved
no,
stand-up
honestly,
comics, and people always told me I was funny, but I never had the guts to get up there myself. So I became a manager. At this point, Joe was my only client.
The only time she's on her knees is at church, and I think she's an atheist. Yeah. You all have been particularly privileged to see me out here tonight, huh? And if you're drinking a little bit and you're driving home, drive safely, because I'll be walking around out there, that's why. Good night.
Joe wasn't making it yet, but I believed that all he needed was the right material, and he'd be on his way.
It was like Night of the Living Dead out here.
That's because you killed him.
Funny. Hey, maybe next time you can get me a paying gig, huh?
I'm working on it, Joe.
Yeah, I'm working on it, Joe. Hey, how you doing, baby? Dollface. Yeah, you. Hey, how you doing, beautiful? Hey, is your father allowed to be out this late, huh?
He wasn't funny on stage. He's even less funny here.
Hey, shove it, Grandpa.
Guys! No fighting. I might get hit. I'm very brittle. I have a bone density problem.
I can take care of myself, Nick.
I'm sorry, Joey.
Joe Ace Grant.
Hey, no autographs, huh?
Sean Shepley, Shep Co-Management.
Oh, yeah? Hey.
I caught your act. I think you're great.
Oh, well, congratulations. You got good taste. That's more than I can say for that rug you're wearing there. What is this, badger season? You got a permit to carry that thing?
That's why you're funny. You're mean, and you've got attitude.
Yeah.
That's what's selling today.
Yeah?
Yeah. Have you had any TV offers yet?
Oh, no, but, you know, I've been thinking about letting the networks take a shot at me, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Come here, tell me something. That weird little guy over there. Is he really your manager? Or is he just your water boy?
He's just my water boy.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Give me a call, kid. You got talent. Don't waste it. Joe Ace Grant.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, man. All right. I'm too much talent for you. It's like you're holding me back. I got a piano strapped to my back wherever I go, and it's you know? Look, I want a release from my contract.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. I supported you, Joey. I bought you clothes. I fed you. I treated you like a kid brother. And this is how you repay me?
But you're a loser, Nick. Don't you see it? And if I hang with you, that makes me a loser, too. Look, I want a release from my contract, and I want it now.
I have to think about it.
Oh, well, you think it over, Nick. You think it over real good, huh?
I didn't know what to do. Joe was really worked up, but I thought eventually he'd come to his senses. He always did.
Oh, that's just what I need.
My left leg was so badly mangled from the accident that complications set in and the doctors had to amputate. I chose to call it an accident because I refused to believe that Joe would do what he did on purpose.
Hey, Nick. How's it going, buddy?
Well, can't say I don't have a leg to stand on.
No, you can't say that. Listen, Nick, I know this is like a bad time or whatever, but this really can't wait. See, I really need that release.
That's why you came here?
Oh, hey, Nick, you know, I'll throw some money your way, you know. I'll buy your leg or something, huh?
You're gonna buy me... get out of my room.
What about the release?
You can have 10 releases. I want you out of my life for good. Hey, Joey, I was always funnier than you. I could have been something, but I...
Hey, Nick, You can still be something. You can be a sit-down comic.
Hey, everybody, my name's Nick. I'm the sit-down comic, so I'm just going to be sitting here and chatting with the next year was an amazing one for me. After losing my leg, I finally found the nerve to face an audience. I started doing jokes from the perspective of a man in a wheelchair. It caught on, and the club started to book me. I was a novelty, and I was hot. I had just finished playing a mean room in Vegas, and I had come back to do a quick benefit at the Grove, the club where it all began. But what happened next was the last thing I would have ever expected.
Joey? Hey, Nick, how you doing?
What happened to you?
I had to get out of the business, you know. Every time I get on stage, I'd start to get this really bad pain in my left leg, you know. It started to hurt so bad, I couldn't even think straight, you know, let alone tell a joke, you know. So anyway, I had to give it up, you know. Come on.
My career really took off, but the next year, I bought my own comedy club and went back to my first love, helping out young comics. And Joe, that pain he had in his leg was a blood clot. 3 months later, he had to have it amputated.
What an ironic turn of events. One man loses a leg and finds his courage, while the other loses his courage and then his leg. Did overwhelming guilt produce the blood clot in Joe's leg, or was it coincidence? Or was he being punished by the gods of comedy? In analyzing this tale, does it appear to be a fable? Or do we really have a leg to stand on?
We'll find out if this story is true or false at the end of our show. Next, a hotel may be hiding a shocking secret on Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
Run! There's nothing more reassuring than a friendly, efficient hotel clerk. Somebody who has your reservation, quickly provides your accommodation without a hitch. Then there's the other experience. Your reservation's lost, the clerk is arrogant, your trip becomes a nightmare. Marina Dunn is about to check into a highly rated hotel. And before she's through, she'll not only question the hotel's service, she'll question her own sanity.
My mother and I had been planning a Florida vacation for months. I'd made all the arrangements in advance, and I assumed everything was in order. I was wrong.
I'm sorry, Miss Dunn, you're not on the computer.
How can this be? I booked these reservations 3 months ago. I showed you my confirmation number.
I'm afraid it's not a valid number.
I don't believe this. They don't have a reservation? Don't worry about it, Mom. I'll take care of it. How are you feeling?
I feel awful. I've got such a headache and my neck is so stiff.
You go sit down and rest. Will you please explain to me how I cannot have a valid confirmation number when it says confirmed right here?
I will admit it's possible that an error was made, but I'm sorry, we have no rooms. There's a convention in town and we're fully booked. In fact, every hotel in town is booked.
Listen, Mr. Mintz, my mother is not feeling well, and unless you want a lawsuit on your hands, I suggest you find us another room right now.
You're in luck. We just had a cancellation. I can put you in room 245. It has a king-size bed.
We'll take it. My mother's condition was getting worse by the minute. I didn't know what was happening, and I was scared for her.
No, I don't want it. No, stop. Please. Oh, Rena,
I'm right here, Mom.
It's so hot.
Okay.
Where am I? Am I doing this wrong? Where's Rena? Rena, where's...
I'm here, Mom. Don't be scared. Can I get a doctor, please, to room 245? As soon as possible, please. Thank you.
Well, it looks like your mother's picked up some kind of bacterial infection.
Is she gonna be all right?
Don't worry, she's gonna be fine. I'm gonna prescribe an antibiotic. It's late, but there's an all-night pharmacy that can fill it for you.
Thank you, Dr. Hall. Thank you, Doctor.
hated leaving my mother alone, but I had no choice. It took me about 45 minutes to get to the pharmacy and back. I needed change for the cab, so I put the prescription bag down on the counter while Mintz broke a 50 for me.
Can I help you, ma'am?
Where's the prescription bag I just left here?
I'm not sure I understand.
I just left a bag here. When I got change from you a minute ago.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
I just left it here. It was medicine for my mother. We're in room 245. She's very ill, and I need that medicine.
245? No, I'm sorry, that room is unoccupied.
What? That's impossible. You checked us in there yourself. My mother is very sick.
Ma'am, keep your voice down. You're upsetting the guests.
Check your computer. D-U-N-N-E. Rena Dunn.
No, I'm sorry, you're not registered at this hotel. There are many hotels in town. Perhaps you're just confused.
I am not confused. Now, you listen to me, Mr. Mintz. I don't know what kind of game you're playing, but my mother and I are guests at this hotel. Dr. Hall, would you please explain to this man that you examined my mother up in room 245?
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
You what? My mother was very ill. You said she had a bacterial infection. You prescribed an antibiotic for her.
You must be confusing me with someone else. I've never seen you before in my life.
I thought I was losing my mind. Nothing was making sense.
Where are you going, ma'am?
Getting my mother out of this place.
No, I can't let you do that.
You can't stop me.
All right. I'll take you to the room.
I must have left my key in the room.
We'll use mine.
Mom,
My head was spinning.
What have you done?
The furniture in the room was all different. But the most horrifying part was that my mother wasn't there.
Where's my mother?
I told you room 245 is unoccupied.
I never saw my mother again.
The symptoms suffered by Rena Dunn's mother pointed to a rare case of West Nile viral encephalitis, a contagious and often fatal disease. In years of subsequent lawsuits, Rena charged that the hotel manager and the doctor conspired to cover up the entire episode and got rid of her mother's body. Also, they wouldn't lose vital business during their important convention season. What about room 245? Did Rena imagine the whole incident? If so, what happened to her mother? Is this mysterious tale based on fact, or has the truth just checked out?
Next, you'll find out which of our stories are fact and which are fiction when Beyond Belief returns.
Now let's look back at tonight's stories and find out which ones are inspired by actual events and which ones are totally false. What about the college student who seemed to channel the spirit of a deceased student? Is this a true story? It's a figment of a writer's imagination. How about the story of the 2-year-old who wrote a message that saved her mother's life?
Tanya, where did you learn how to write that? You don't even know your alphabet.
You think you've heard a story like this before? You might have. It's true. According to our research, a similar story happened in the Southwest in the mid-70s. Let's look again at the weatherman who seemed to forecast his own death.
We are not going to escape the tornadoes that are coming. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, tornadoes. They are going to come, they are going to hit us, they are going to hit us fast, and they are going to hit us hard. Stay tuned, I'll have more details later in the newscast.
Was this story true? Afraid not. It was written to fool you. How about the comedian who found his fame and fortune after being severely injured?
I want you out of my life for good. Hey, Joey, I was always funnier than you. I could have been something, but Hey, Nick, you can still be something. You can be a sit-down comic.
Did a similar story to this one take place? Could be, but we made this one up. Let's have one more look at the strange story of the woman and the lost hotel reservation.
I just left it here. It was medicine for my mother. We're in room 245. She's very ill, and I need that medicine.
245? No, I'm sorry, that room is unoccupied.
What?
Although this story has been updated for our show, it's based on fact. Published reports place a similar incident in Paris at the turn of the last century. Is there really a difference between truth and reality? Or are they the same imposters dressed in different clothing? And when we speak of the difference between them, are we really dealing in a concept that's beyond belief? I'm Jonathan Frakes.
Join us next time for Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. I'm Campbell Lane.